Lobster has changed my life. I know it sounds absurd, all the parts of it, but believe me or not, let me tell you how this happened from the very beginning. To start with, I'm Tony, and I'm kinda agoraphobic, which means I don't feel comfortable staying indoors. I have several years of therapy behind, and in the meantime, have learned to live my life peacefully with this condition. I can even come out to shops nearby, not far from home though. All the other time I'm home freelancing, surfing web, and being visited by my two best friends, who are more like bros for me. The only thing that freaks me out is that I can't travel, and traveling has always been my dream. Well, you need to be happy with what you have. I have a soft spot for fish and seafood. I eat a lot of fish, and as far as I can't go out, I prepare my food from scratch. It means I have a healthy working relationship with my local fishmonger. Every single trip, he will have some wild-caught, exotic, fancy, or otherwise intriguing catch. That day was no different. I walk in looking for some fresh fish when the fishmonger is like, "Ah, my friend, only the best for you. I have the special stock out back." Of course I want the special stock. So he goes out back and brings back this little fella, a lobster, beautifully blue, with just one antenna. He puts it on the table. It wiggles that little antenna at me. And in that moment, I decide that the lobster in front of me is special. I look into the lobster's eyes and feel that the moment I emotionally connect with a bloody lobster. I decide that I don't want to eat it, but to have it as a pet. I've even got a name. For me, he is Walrus. So I take him home and find myself in a hard position. I can't eat it. You don't eat pets, right? Otherwise, what should I do? I search on the web looking up lobster information, trying to work out how I will keep Walrus in my room. Eventually, I realize that there is no way of keeping him. I try to find someone who wants a pet lobster. Nothing. So I come to a conclusion that I need to set Walrus free back into the sea. Problem is that the sea is around 200 kilometers away from me, and I'm not the most mobile of all people. Suddenly, I notice that Walrus doesn't look very lively, and realize that without a water tank, our friendship will finish very soon. So I go on a panicked frenzy calling my friends and giving them an incoherent explanation on my new pet. They both fully understand, like, "Save the lobster? I'm in!" Pick me up with a car and we head off to the supermarket to buy a water tank, sea salt, ice, water, and cod and carrots. I've googled what lobsters eat and got pretty confused, so we take both. As soon as I fill the tank with iced salty water and put Walrus in it, I see that he feels better. It's not ideal, but should keep him hydrated. Now we are supposed to bring him to the sea as quickly as possible, so we start off. I'm around my pet lobster all the time, trying to feed him, and only thinking about how to keep him alive for 2 more hours. It goes okay for 170 kilometers towards the sea, but when it's only 30 to go, I notice he has become unresponsive. I try to get him to do stuff, gently brush his eyes, click his claws, but to me, it's clear he is dead. So there I am, a big man crying over a lobster. We think it would be anyway nice to bury him in the sea where he belongs, so we make the rest 30 kilometers in solemn silence. When we come to the beach, I find some seaweed, wrap Walrus in it so it would be like home, and ease him into the wash. We contemplate him for a couple of minutes as I grieve over my pet friend's body, when I suddenly realize his antenna starts slightly moving. I rush to him and stay by his side while he slowly comes to life. Hell, this is one of a resurrection story. After some time, when he seems fully operational again, we push him into the sea and I see him off gladly. I'm still looking at the sea dreamily when suddenly I'm like, wait, am I 200 kilometers from home without a single panic attack? I am shocked. Seems that I was so focused on saving Walrus ASAP that I completely ignored myself being unable to travel far from home. Well, this is something I need to analyze. And you know what? This episode obviously hasn't healed me, but something happened and my phobia has become less fierce. I now start making small trips even outside the city. Not far, but still. I'm now okay with them, and I am thinking maybe one day I would even be able to plan a trip to one of the countries I have always been dreaming about. And each time I am thinking about where to go next, I also imagine my lobster friend running free deep in the sea and feel that Walrus was a special fella.